Hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Today is Friday, the first day of December. So we've got lots of stuff going on, college football, pretty much wrapping up the regular season after this weekend. Just one game on the docket. Sunday, we'll get all the bowl assignments to where everybody's going to go. So that will certainly be interesting. Some will be very good. Some will be not so good. But you know what? We're going to be interested because this is what we do. We bet sports, right? That's why you're watching. You're interested in betting football. So we're going to get lots of opportunities in the weeks ahead. But this weekend, though, we have lots of opportunities as well with, 9 championship games? Plus, the Sun Belt also is going to be deciding their championship in league play. And looks like they're probably going to be at a tie at the top, but that's still good for those two teams to be listed as co-conference champions. Hey, you know what? Vegas Pro Insider Daily, you can sign up right now, $39.99. Get everything, all of my picks. You're going to get some super systems that have been just really, really strong of late. So those have been great. Some excellent trends that kind of guide you along to some different paths. And it's not just in football. We're talking NBA. We're talking college basketball, NHL, and of course the NFL, which we will talk about tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about that today. So all of that, $39.99, we're going to get you, if you signed up literally today, it's going to take you till January 1st for the bowls. So how good is that? So you're going to get all that, $39.99, plus a few bonuses along the way. Can't say what those are, but tell me, or believe me, you will get those bonuses as well. So hey, what we're going to cover today is I got 2 new line moves. I'm going to give the free picks on those. Plus, we're going to go back and look at the games from Tuesday and see what adjustments have been made. And in some cases, there's been some rather significant adjustments. So let's start out in the Sun Belt, shall we? With the Troy and Arkansas State game. The Sun Belt's going to get a little love. Going to be at ESPN2 at night. Now it's going to go up against some pretty stiff competition. I will say that. But if you're a Sun Belt fan, hey, this is as good as it gets. These two teams have one loss, Troy and Arkansas State, and Appalachian State is the third team, which we'll talk about there in a minute. Now, these two programs, Troy and Arkansas State, have won 11 of the championships since 2001 when the league first came about. So these teams are very strong football programs in this conference. Now, Arkansas State, the home team, opened up as a two-point favorite, but they got flipped to +1. And I think that the reason that occurred is that Troy does have the better defense, and if you've watched both teams play, the Trojans also have greater team speed. So that is being felt that will negate what Arkansas State has for a home field advantage. Arkansas State, though, has the mental aspect of this one because they've won the last 4 in a row and covered each and every one of them. Myself, I'm going to give the nod, though, to Troy. I liked them early. I liked them as an underdog, not quite as crazy in the role of favorite. Not that the spread is going to, change that much about the game itself, but just my feeling on the game. 95% of bettors are on Troy. Woo, big number on that one. And if you've been following along, the 80+% on the public has done well for the entire year, the first 11 months of the season. So I don't think I would imagine that's just not going to stop. Okay, with that being the case. The other big line move that has happened is Ohio State and Wisconsin, and that has been on the total on that game. Now that opened up at 53.5 and has gone to 51 on that one. Now, both these squads have excellent defensive teams, and particularly where you see that is in the defensive lines where they can really create some havoc, and they have. Wisconsin is underrated in terms of team speed. That's one thing that cannot be discounted. This is not the plodding Badgers of years ago. This team can run. They have much better athletes. It's gotten better each and every, the last several years, so I really like what they're doing. Now, in this one, to me, this looks like a 24-20 outcome. So I like the under. And then also, when the total is between 49.5 and 56, and the game is being played on a neutral field, teams like Ohio State that have won 3 of their last 4 games are playing a team that has won at least 8 of their last 10 games. They are 31-7 under. All right, so there you have it. So I do like the under in this game. I thought, what is it? 76% of bettors are also on the under on this occasion for the Big Ten Championship. Let's go back and test the waters on some of the games that have occurred or that we went over on Tuesday already and see what some of the updates are. We're going to start with Friday tonight as I do this video, the Stanford USC game. That total went from 55 to 58, went from 57 to 58.5, and we're primarily 58.5 or 59 is what we're saying. I still like the over on this one. I think both these teams are going to score. I think they have some flaws defensively, so I think that's going to be the play on that one. Another game that we had, which was also in the Sun Belt, involves the aforementioned Appalachian State, and they're going to be hosting Louisiana. Now, total on this one went up 2 points of 59.5. There has been a buyback to 58.5. I said it the other day. I'll say it again. I agree that with the line going down, I think that the Appalachian State defense certainly can do the job in a home situation. Plus the fact they're looking to get at least a slice of the Sun Belt title. So I think there's something there that can be that can occur. So I like the under on that one. Next up, we have I believe the MAC championship is the next game that we have coming up here. Yes, there it is. Okay, MAC championship, Akron and Toledo. Now, in this one, bettors moved Toledo up to 21.5, and they also took the total from 54 to 57. Now, in this one, the total has continued to rise. It's now up to 58.5, but the Rockets have gone back a half point to 21. Now, here, I like the higher score. I think there'll be plenty of points in this one, but I think Akron is going to empty their bucket, okay, in terms of everything they got, in terms of emotion. They literally have nothing to lose. Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, not that they don't want to win this game, but no one's expecting them to do that. I mean, a 21-point favorite or underdog on a neutral field. So I actually like the Rockets to cover. Actually, I like the Akron Zips to cover, and I like the over, despite the fact that both these, the public is all over the over. No surprise there, but also on Toledo in that one. So I'm going to go a little bit contrary on half that one. Georgia and Auburn, SEC championship. Ooh, this is going to be good. Okay, a lot to think about here then too. Now, initially the total went down 2 points to 49, and it has continued to drift downward. Now it's at 48.5. Now, the other interesting thing though that has occurred here is that everybody is talking up Auburn as, is the team to beat, the hottest team in college football, and those things are all true. Yet the Georgia has gone from plus 2.5 down to plus 1.5. I wonder what that's all about. Well, you know what? I like the under. I think this is going to be a real headbuster. These defensive fronts for both teams are really good. And I also think that Georgia is really going to come to play. If you follow the intensity of Saban at Alabama, Kirby Smart is off that tree at the Georgia coach. And so you can bet your bottom dollar that he has been, and his coaches have been all over the offensive and defensive linemen this week, especially going over that tape from the last game. I think Georgia comes to play with a lot of attitude, okay, is not going to get smacked around. And I think this Kerryon Johnson thing, the running back for Auburn, I think it's a real deal. I don't know how his shoulder is going to hold up for 4 quarters. We're just going to have to wait and see. That's all any of us can really do on that one. Next up, ACC Championship, Clemson and Miami. Now, Miami blew up as a favorite, went all the way to 9.5. There's been a little coming back on this one to -9 on the Tigers, but the total has slipped from 48.5 to either 46.5 or 46. Now, in this one, no, as I've said before, I normally don't, teams that lose late in the year are usually bad bets, but this is a lot of points to me. I'm not saying Clemson won't cover, but if I'm going to have go direction, I'm going to take the +9. I just think that Miami, I think Mark Richt's got something to talk about here with his team. I think that, from an emotional standpoint, they just lost their first game. Get those guys fired up because now here's their chance. I mean, they can be ACC champions, and I'm not saying they will because I still like Clemson to win the game, but I could just see the Hurricanes playing really tough on this one. I also, though, do not like the total going down. In this one, I look at this and there's too many playmakers on both teams, and also both defenses are really good at turning the ball over and creating turnovers. So that being the case, that can flip the field, change possession quickly, lead to scores. I think the game's going to go over the total of 46. Finally, what we have for you, the other day, the Big 12 championship. Oklahoma, TCU. That total went from 61.5 to 63.5. Stayed right there. Hasn't budged an inch. There's been a little blip here and there, one way or the other, but essentially it stayed right on there. I think the over is going to be the play. You got Baker Mayfield with that offense. You got the Oklahoma defense, not exactly a stalwart group. So I think the over 63 is definitely the play. Interesting to note, though, on the public perception, it was 94% on Tuesday. It's down to 60. Curious, right? All right. So one of the things I'd like you to do also, this article, you'll see the video, but you can go over the article if you'd like. Check out the public sides on those. I got 3 of them this year. They have been incredible, 40 and 22 against the spread. So the highest rated public plays in terms of bets placed. They've killed it. I got 3 more for you to check it out at the website, Vegas Pro Insider Daily. So that's everything I got for today, Friday. I'll be back tomorrow, Saturday, and we're going to go over the NFL. Doug Upstone, Vegas Pro Insider Daily. I am out.